In addition to balancing and checking rations for nutrient supply, SheepBytes can help the user to manage inventory and calculate feed costs. From the main rations list, let's select the lamb TMR, open that ration. You can see again this ration requires 5.9 pounds of feed per day. Notice that the cost per head per day over here is 46 cents per day. If we click on feeding information, we can get some valuable work done. Here we're allowed to enter the number of days for this ration. So in this case, we will call that, we'll say that this ration is being fed for 60 days. And let's say we have 300 head in that pen. 300. Our yardage cost, we can put a yardage cost in here if you know that. If you don't know it, you can use the yardage calculator. This is divided into 3 sections: investment cost in facilities, investment cost of equipment, and other costs per year. So if you do have the data to populate all these boxes, then you can come up with a calculated yardage for your operation simply by clicking on the Calculate Yardage box. In our case, we will just assume a yardage value. We'll go back to feeding information and put a value of 0.25 cents per head per day in there as the yardage cost. So now in the second line here, you can see that for that particular number of head for 60 days, we've got a feed cost, a yardage cost, a feed cost per pound of gain, and a total cost per pound of gain. Below here under the feeds, it shows the feeds that are in the ration, as well as the individual ingredients that were used to make up that ration. In this part here, we can manage our cash flow by indicating whether these feeds are homegrown or purchased. So for example, it was likely that the barley silage was homegrown. The ABC lamb supplement was likely purchased. The barley grain we will say was homegrown. Again, the supplement is purchased. Here's our cost per unit. So we have to check this. Is barley silage $40 a ton, as we've got in here? The supplement at $3.50, barley grain at $3.90 per bushel. We can change the unit weights here. We can describe the package types in this particular location. So barley silage is 2,000 pounds. That package then, in the drop-down sense here, is a ton. We know that 2,000 pounds are in a ton. ABC lamb supplement, 2204, that's a ton. So again, from an inventory perspective, we want to know how much we're purchasing. We can change that to tons. The barley grain, 390 per 48 pounds. That is a bushel. So again, we can select bushel in this case. Waste factor here, depending on your feeding system. In this case, it's a TMR, so all the waste is probably the same. We will change that from 10 down to 5, and we'll keep all the ingredients there at 5 as far as a feed waste. Of note, in round baling feeding systems, you can often have waste as high as 25 or 30%. This now tells you on the far right-hand column here how many packages you need. To feed 60 lambs, to feed 300 lambs for 60 days is we're going to require 22 5,000-pound batches of that feed. In terms of your barley silage, it's going to require 14 tons of barley, 3.43 tons of supplement, and 1,575 bushels of barley grain. So this is how SheepBytes can be used to help you manage your inventory and track your costs.